Okay, thank you very much. I hope I am audible.
Yeah, you are.
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you, Phil.
Okay, thank you very much. I share my... Okay, just give me a moment. I share the slides with you guys.
Okay. Yes, do. Kindly, can we mute our mics?
Okay, I hope the slides are visible.
Hi, Phil. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. The slides are visible, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Are the slides visible?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, thank you very much. About me, just a basic introduction. First and foremost, I'm very sorry for the delayed time. We have started a little bit late, but I really hope I can finish on time. My name's Phil Jefwa Karema. I'm a student at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT in Juja. I'm an ethical hacker and a cybersecurity analyst. I'm the Google Developer Group cybersecurity lead in JKUAT. Now, today I don't have that much for you guys. So I just wanted to see from a hacker's view how we do exploit DevOps pipelines and how we uncover vulnerabilities. Now, let's begin. First and foremost, I'm very sure, not sure, but I think some of the people over here maybe don't know what DevOps is. So we'll start with what is DevOps. Now, I'd say a simple Google search. DevOps is a search of practices, tools, and a cultural philosophy that automate and integrate the process between software development and IT teams. So this move an integration between two operations, the software development and the IT teams. And why is it important to us? It's important because it's faster and reliable software delivery compared to the traditional methods. It has improved collaboration and has proved to be efficient. It has enhanced security and stability. Now, the core of DevOps is the CI/CD pipelines. Now, a little story time. Here we have Tony, who owns a small pizza store. Tony looks like he's smiling a lot, but through his smile, he faces a lot of challenges. Number one, his cooks just cook randomly, no set recipe. Number two, no taste testing. Some pizzas were delivered either burnt or undercooked. Number three, some deliveries got lost, wrong addresses, and maybe confusing the addresses. His clients were not particularly happy about this, and due to that, he lost a couple of clients. Okay, just a minute. I think the slides are not in order. Just a minute. Okay, nice. It's okay. Now we were at Tony. He lost a ton of clients. Tony, aside for a moment, what are DevOps pipelines? Well, they comprise of CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Pipelines automate the process of building, testing, and deploying software, enabling faster and more reliable releases. Let's start with continuous integration. It's main aim or goal is to merge code changes frequently and detect issues early. The key steps: number one, code commit. Developers push code to a shared repo, uh, example in GitHub. This triggers the CI pipelines automatically. Number two, build and compile. It converts source code into executable artifacts. Tools like Docker are used in this particular stage. Number three, automated testing. Runs unit tests, integration tests, and static application security testing. Number four, artifact generation. Stores tested builds in repositories. Uh, Now, for the CD, continuous deployment, its goal is to automatically deploy validated code to production-like or live environment. What are the key steps under CD? Deployment to staging, releases build to pre-production environment for further testing. Tools like Terraform, Ansible, majorly used over there. Automated and manual approval gates. Production deployment rolls out updates to end user via canary, blue screen, or rolling deployments. Post-deployment monitoring. This tracks performance, logs, and security incidences. Well, I really hope I'm usually a fast orator, so if you think I'm going a little bit too fast, you can inform me. Yeah. Now back to Tony. Well, Tony learned and decided to change a couple of operations, how he operates. So one of the changes Tony made, the chefs are now required to follow a standard recipe for all the pizzas. Tony used an automated kitchen robot to check, keyword automated kitchen robot to check the following. Is the dough right? Are the toppings fresh? If everything is good, if everything has been checked and all the things are per standard so far, the pizza goes to the oven. Now, Tony did not stop there. He made a couple of changes in the delivery as well. The changes are: the pizza is tested. This to determine whether it is too salty, the pizza is undercooked, overburnt. Sorry, Roy is exaggerating, so I'd say undercooked. If the pizza is completely tested and is per standard of the recipe, it is delivered in the right address. This involves confirmation of the address. All those changes led to Tony making unbelievable sales, thus increasing his profit. The clients were satisfied too. Now, why did I bring out that analogy? Now, I want us to check something small. Now, keep in mind, Tony's Pizzas is the software, recipe book is the source code, the robot tester is the automated tests, the oven is the build system, the test table is the staging environment, delivery drivers are the deployment tools, and the angry customers are the production outages. Now, before the changes, his cooks cook randomly, no set recipe. Well, I related this with devs coding without tests. Number two, no test testing. Pizzas arrive burnt or undercooked. What does that mean in this analogy? These are the bugs in production. Some deliveries got lost due to mismatched addresses that I can say are the failed deployments. Now, after the changes, automation, I'd say that. Number one, continuous integration. Now, let's see what falls under this. Chefs followed a standard recipe. This is the standard code. A robot tester, this is the automated tests. Only perfect pizzas are sent to the oven, the build artifacts. Under continuous deployment, pizzas were sent to test tables. This is the staging environment. Delivery, if the pizzas were up to standards. Delivery was done. This was accomplished via manual delivery and automated delivery. Maybe using drones, manual delivery, maybe using vehicles or bicycles, I don't know. Now, this brings about the question, why should we secure the DevOps pipelines? CI/CD pipelines have access to sensitive information. We should keep a heavy note on sensitive, I don't know, I did not bold it, but sensitive information, making it an ideal target for hackers. Such information may include secrets and credentials, things such as the API keys, database passwords, SSH keys, cloud credentials, etc. source code and intellectual property, build and deployment artifacts, infrastructure access, pipeline execution code. Now, why do hackers often target CI/CD? Pivoting. Compromising pipelines can lead to lateral movement into production systems. Well, it's easy for the hacker to integrate. Once he has breached the pipelines, it's easy for him to move about the system. You can maybe inject backdoors. You can maybe set malwares, set executable scripts. Persistence. Malicious code in builds here can persist across updates. Well, when you're rolling the updates to the end users, it can persist across the updates over time. Scale. A single pipeline breach can impact thousands of applications or servers. That is a bit quite self-explanatory. Well, from a hacker's perspective, black hat hackers, that is, a hacker's philosophy: don't attack the app, attack the tools that deliver the app. Now, this a little bit by human psychology. Why do I say don't attack the app? Just because that the app is constantly scanned over time to check whether there are vulnerabilities, when it's being breached. But the tools that deliver the app are, in some cases, not some cases, ignored. And that's why hackers, I shall repeat, I heard someone was saying something. Is there somewhere I
Uh,
need to clarify, or I should just continue? Is there a place I
no,
need to
you can
clarify?
think
I
you
can
can
continue.
continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hackers' philosophy: don't attack the app, attack the tools that deliver the app. Now, what are the steps that hackers take, or I'd take if I was to hack CI/CD pipeline? Reconnaissance. This is technically preparing for the attack and gathering information. Discover exposed CI tools, misconfigured webhooks, GitHub secrets, etc. Initial access. Now, exploit public Jenkins, GitLab, leaked tokens, or default credentials. Privilege escalation. You can abuse pipeline permissions or environment variables. What I mean by abuse pipeline permissions is that you can, how can I say this, upgrade yourself to the admin or get admin access. One of the main things a hacker aims for when hacking or breaching into a system is to get root privileges or admin privileges. Root privileges allows the attacker to make any changes he or she may want to make to the system. That's how critical it is. Payload injection: modify build steps to infiltrate data or plant malware. Persistence: backdoor images or tamper with pipeline files, such as the Jenkins file. Now, we'll start with the first vulnerability, which are the secret leaks. First and foremost, we'll start with the initial access. This can be obtained through exposed secrets, API keys, tokens, passwords. Now, where the entry point? The entry point is via stolen credentials. Let hackers bypass authentication, whatever. Privilege escalation: cloud hijacking. Use AWS or Azure keys to gain admin access, just as stated before. Lateral movement, I've explained this before. Jump from dev to prod systems. Data theft and sabotage: database dumps and steal financial data. This is just an example, but I thought it's a critical example to use. Code tampering: inject malware. There's a incident that happened a couple of, I'm not sure if it was in 2020 or 2021, the SolarWinds incident where attackers, I think they were from Russia, injected malware into the CI/CD pipelines of a certain institution. Now, okay, sorry about that. Financial abuse: one can crypto mine using cloud computing resources. This is very, very common, actually. This is just an off example, not really relevant to this topic, but I'd use it and say it. Maybe many people tend to use Brave browser, the Brave browser, and one issue with that is that they usually use your resource to mine Bitcoin. So I really thought that would be a good example as to why maybe the systems could be lagging, slow, maybe the machine is overheating. That's an example. Ransomware. What is a ransomware? Ransomware is where an attacker encrypts your system for ransom. All the files are locked, all the critical files are identified and locked by the attacker using the ransomware. And the attacker needs or wants some ransom. Maybe they usually do it in form of Bitcoin. Yeah, maybe he requests some amount of Bitcoin from the victim for him to or her to unlock the files. Persistence. Backdoors hidden in CI/CD scripts for long-term access. When you set a backdoor, you can just visit the systems over and over again and do whatever the attacker wants to do. Now, the second vulnerability, I wanted to highlight three major vulnerabilities, though there are very, very many. Maybe due to time, I wanted to finish a bit early, have another session coming up. So the second vulnerability, insecure CI/CD configurations. Well, misconfigured CI/CD pipelines can give hackers a direct path to production. What are the common exploits? Overprivileged pipelines. CI/CD jobs with admin level cloud access, uh, AWS permissions. Attackers can deploy crypto miners or steal data. Unprotected runner pools. Shared CI runners cache or cache, I don't know, maybe different people pronounce it differently. Secrets between jobs. Hackers can steal the invals from concurrent buildings. Unreviewed third-party plugins. Malicious GitHub Actions or Jenkins plugins execute rogue code or corrupted code. Supplying chain attacks. As an example of this was the Codecov breach. Now, the last vulnerability I wanted to share with you, maybe it's a major one, disabled logging or monitoring. No alerts for suspicious pipeline activity. Now, this is very, very important. No alerts for suspicious pipeline activity. Attackers operate undetected for months. Now you can just imagine the damage the attacker can do for months if he has been undetected. Such case was the Tesla case where hackers exploited open Kubernetes pods via CI to mine cryptocurrency, and the SolarWinds, which I just explained before, where the compromised build system injected malware into the rolled updates. Now, dependency attacks, common attack vectors, typo squatting. What is this? Fake packages with misspelled names, such as you can see the requests double S instead of requests. This can deploy malware, Colorama stealing AWS. You can see you can search further into the case and see it. It's quite interesting. Compromised legitimate packets. Hackers hijack popular libraries. Attackers can inject backdoors. Outdated dependencies and patched CVEs allow remote code execution in production. Malicious CI/CD plugins. Fake GitHub actions exfiltrate secrets. Now, what are the mitigation tactics for this particular attack? Use dependency scanning. Dependabot can be used for that. You can lock versions, pip freeze. Command can be used to do that. Verify checksums for critical artifacts. Restrict external plugin usage. Now, what is the risk after a dependency attack has been done? Malicious or vulnerable third-party dependencies compromise your pipelines. Now, as an attacker's side, I've explained how an attacker would want to breach into your systems and what to aim for and why. Now, defense playbook, how to patch the pipelines, which is very critical. Now, first and foremost, you'd like to secure your CI/CD configurations, least privilege, restrict pipeline permissions. How I'd say this? the lesser the guys who have access to the permissions, the lower the chances of the pipelines being breached. I'd say this because we usually say in cybersecurity that the humans, how can I put this? Yeah, the weakest chain in any security system or in any information system is the human. Now, if many humans or many people can get permission, pipeline permissions, the chances of that particular pipeline to being breached is pretty high. Ephemeral runners use isolated, disposable CI environments. Number two, stop dependency attacks. How can this be done? This can be done by automated scanning tools to alert on vulnerable libraries. Zero trust for packages. Enforce signature verification. Prevent secret leaks. Pre-commit hooks. You can scan for secrets with Git leaks. Dynamic secrets rotate key automatically. This can be achieved by using AWS Secret Manager. Monitor and response. Anomaly detection. Alert on unusual jobs, and I'd say it's advisable to alert as soon as it has been detected. Incident runbooks auto revoke tokens on breach detections. Now, my final thoughts. DevOps, huh? Fast software wins market, but breaches lose trust of the clients. Automation cuts human error, but misconfiguration creates holes or the weak links, vulnerable points. Pipelines, your new production perimeter. Attackers target CI/CD systems first. That is the gateway. When you manage to breach into the CI/CD pipeline, you're able to actually that is the core of DevOps. So it's like the whole operation will be just compromised. Oh yeah, one compromised pipeline can result to ransomware, can result to data theft, can result to sabotage. Yeah, that's all I had for today. I wanted to finish early so that I can make room for questions and maybe go for another session. I'll be taking in the questions, so and a place I need to clarify. That's why I finished early so that I can clarify, or I'll be taking the questions. Okay, soon I'm getting to the chat. I can see you can't hear. Is the person still in the meeting? I can just repeat quickly. I can do a quick recap of what we've done. John, are you still in? John? Okay, what particular point do you need me to repeat? At what point did you stop hearing so that I can repeat it? Any particular slide where maybe I wasn't audible enough? I can just repeat it. Okay, what I'll do is I'll go slowly via the slides. The first part, so I re-explain it.
You
Okay,
can just unmute, John. You can unmute if you're comfortable.
actually, it will be better that way so that I can know where exactly to explain again.
Also, if anyone else has a question, feel free to.
Actually, yeah, it will be the great time. It will be the perfect time to type in or to articulate your questions. Okay, understood. Maybe you can. Okay. Oh, the pizza story. Okay, I'll recap it. As for John, it's the first the examples. I'll recap the examples. Who else maybe has a question that I can tackle after this? Nobody else has a question. So it's only John. I'm open to taking in questions. I still have about a couple of minutes, so I can take in a couple of questions. You can type in the question, so you could just okay. I guess it's just John. Okay. Now I'd like to start by explaining DevOps, and by this I just took a simple Google search. I thought it was more easier to understand and comprehend. What is DevOps? This is a search of practices, tools, and a cultural philosophy that automate and integrate the process between software development and IT teams. Why is DevOps important? Compared to traditional methods of software development lifecycle, it is more fast, it's quicker, it's faster, it's more reliable. It has improved collaboration. This is between the developers and the operation teams. Actually, DevOps is a combination of developers, operation teams being integrated together. So it has improved collaboration and efficiency, enhanced security and stability too. Now, the core of DevOps is usually the CI/CD pipelines. I'm about to explain the CI/CD pipelines, but before that, I'll repeat the story again. We have Tony, our pizza seller. He owns a small store. Now, Tony usually goes through a couple of challenges. He goes through a couple of challenges, which leads to mistrust amongst his clients and losing a couple of clients. What are the challenges? His cooks cook randomly. Now, there's no set standard of how the pizza should be, no set standard of how the pizza should taste or look like. It's just more of like freestyling. That's what the cooks are doing. No set recipe in place to be used by all the chefs. So if a chef has a knowledge on how to do this, he just does it the way he knows how to do it. Number two, no testing. Some pizzas were delivered either burnt or undercooked. Now, I'd imagine you'd spend a couple of hundreds to buy a pizza and it turns out to be undercooked or burnt. As a person, I know you'd be very, very pissed off. Some deliveries got lost. This is due to wrong addresses or confusing the addresses. Now, I can assume that you ordered a pepperoni pizza and the delivery man, after taking tons of time, brings to you a pineapple with a pizza with pineapple toppings. You'd be very pissed. Now, the clients are not happy about how things were. The lost deliveries, the burnt or undercooked pizzas, and he lost a couple of clients. Now that brings up to that brings up brings us sorry that brings us to what are DevOps pipelines. They usually comprise of CI/CD, continuous integration, and continuous deployment. Now, CI/CD, continuous integration, and continuous deployment pipelines automate the process of building, testing, and deploying software, enabling faster and more reliable releases. Now, we'll start with the continuous integration. Its goal is to merge code changes frequently and detect issues early. Now, what are the key steps? Number one, code commit. Developers push code to a shared repository, such as GitHub. This will trigger the CI pipelines automatically. Number two, build and compile. Convert source code into executable artifacts. Tools like Docker can be used at this stage. Three, automated testing. Runs unit tests, integration tests, and static application security testing. Number four, artifact generation. Stores tested builds in the repos. As for the CD, its goal is to automatically deploy validated code. Now, the keyword over here is validated code to production-like or live environment. What are the key steps under CD? Deployment to staging, releases, built to pre-production environment for further testing. Tools like Terraform and Ansible can be implemented, automated, and approval gates. Yeah, I really think that is a little bit self-explanatory, but we'll get to see it in the next example. Production deployment, that's self-explanatory too, but rolls out updates to end user via Canary, blue screen, or rolling the deployments. Post deployment monitoring tracks performance, tracks logs, and security incidences. That's why I was saying that it's better to don't attack the application, attack the process. So this because after being deployed, the apps are being monitored constantly. So it's easy to identify whether someone is messing up with them. Now, back to Tony. Tony noticed he was losing a lot of clients and decided to run things a little bit differently. What did Tony change? The chefs are now required to follow a standard recipe, not the standard as is in bold, a standard recipe for all the pizzas. Tony used an automated kitchen robot to check the following: to check, is the dough right? Are the toppings fresh? Well, if everything is good, everything has been checked, everything is good, that's when the pizza goes to the oven. Now, Tony did not stop there. He made a couple of changes in delivery. What are the changes? The changes include the pizza is tested to determine whether is it too salty, is it raw, undercooked, is it burnt. If the pizza is completely tested and it's past standard, it is delivered in the right address. This involves confirmation of the address. All those changes made Tony to make unbelievable sales when the clients were satisfied. Now, let me explain the analogy. Before the changes, how was Tony operating things? Number one, his cooks used to cook randomly, no standard procedure, no standard recipe. This can be linked or this can be compared to developers coding without running tests. Now, no testing, pizzas arrive burnt or undercooked. Now, these are the bugs that are in production. The analog method, you see that a software will have a lot of bugs in production, which would again lead to more time being spent in debugging them. Yeah, and mostly get these bugs will be identified after or during testing, so that when the software is being tested, a couple of bugs are noticed. Back to the software development team again, back to the developers. So it was a long process. It was a long process, time consuming. Now, some deliveries got lost. This is due to mismatched addresses, failed. This can be linked or can be compared to failed deployments. Some deliveries got lost. These are the failed deployments. Now, after changes, now this bringing up DevOps into the software development life cycle, bring up DevOps. Number one, integration of continuous integration. Chefs followed a standard recipe. This standard code. The code needs to meet particular standards. Number two, a robot tester. This for automated tests. The tests are not done manually, not anymore. They were run automatically to see whether there were bugs or to see whether the code is all right. It is only when the pizzas are perfect, then they're sent to the ovens. Now you can say the oven is the build system. Only perfect pizzas are sent to the oven, build artifacts, or the build system. Under the CD, pizzas are sent to test tables, staging environment. Delivery, if the pizzas were up to standards, delivery was done. This was accomplished by manual delivery and automated delivery. In DevOps, there are two types of deliveries, manual and automated. That's why I included that. Now, for the analogy to make sense, you need to know what you're dealing with or how we are dealing with it. Tonnage pizzas are the software. The recipe book is the source code. The robot tester is the automated tests. The oven are the build system or the build artifacts. The test table is the staging environment. Delivery drivers are the deployment tools. Angry customers are the production outages. I believe my example ended there. Then we hopped on to why secure the DevOps pipeline. So, John,
well understood.
I really hope you've understood it.
Yes,
Is it
yes.
is it possible to share code example and how can the pipeline be secured? Uh, Not really, but I didn't organize due to a couple of reasons. I didn't organize live demo session, but I will do one, record it, and send it to the group or the community, or I'll share it with Tabitha. Then Tabitha can share it with you. I'll do a recorded version of it on how the entire example and how we can. You'll see how I'll get to. You'll see how I'll get to breach the systems, and maybe the vulnerabilities will come and make a lot more sense if you see how I'm doing it. But right now, I didn't do any of that due to time. It takes a lot of time actually. So I'd rather just record the entire process and maybe share with you guys, and you'll get to see it. Is that will that sit well with you? Is it Rads? Will it sit well with you?
I think that will work if there's no demo at the moment. So we can share the recording once you shared it with me. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll pre-record the entire process on how I'll breach a couple of pipelines and share it with you so that you can see what I mean. I didn't organize the demo because I saw the session was strictly 1 hour, so I didn't want to overhaul and pass another time since I have another session coming up too. If it weren't for that, maybe you could have organized for something. But I'll record something and share it with Tabitha. Then you can share it with the rest of the group. Okay, John. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I will share the slides. I'll share the slides. I will share the slides. Okay, let me see if I can type it in the comments. And I change the. I'll change the permissions later on, but these are the link to the slides. I'll update the permissions later. Yeah. Is there anything else? Is there a way to secure it? Yeah, there's a couple of ways to secure the DevOps system. I mentioned a couple of them. Let me just jump to the slides and see. I did share a couple of ways to secure the systems. Under the
I think
defense
you
playbook.
missed one question, Phil. I
Uh-huh.
think you missed a question just right above the slides you shared. Daniel asked you to explain the security of the code while in transit while it's being shipped. Yeah.
While in transit and while it's being shipped. Okay, and is there a way to secure it? Now, I'd really say, while in transit, I don't know how exactly. Okay, let me see. While pen testing or while hacking, you really try to do stuff before. Can you see my slides? Are my slides visible?
Yes, but there's a pop-up. So if you can close the pop-up.
Oh, okay. No, I thought maybe due to that. Now, I'd say this on a hacker's perspective. I'm trying to put this in a hacker's perspective. I'm not really of a DevOps engineer, but I'm an ethical hacker, and how I do it. Hackers we often try to breach the systems before they're being shipped to, or before they're being transitioned. So maybe I'd say I don't know how to do that, but we usually target for this for the systems or the software before being shipped. So the second question then it's a little bit unclear for me. Is there a way to secure it while in transit or before being shipped? Daniel, can you clarify that? Because I really think the second question is depends on the first question. Can you clarify it, Daniel?
I think
No,
Daniel has clarified this question.
yeah, I'd say I'd not exactly. Maybe you can try to scan the code at first because you may not know. Maybe the code has been tampered with. So I'd not say the code is completely secure. I'd say is that you need to scan it. You need to see it. At times, hackers can tamper with code. Hackers tend to tamper with code. That reverse engineering. Yeah, you tamper with the code and inject your own malware into the code. So I cannot say whether it. Okay, it also depends on the author of the security steps that the author took before publishing the code in GitHub. Is that answer satisfactory, or maybe you haven't understood it? Daniel? Yeah, so I'd say that the security of the codes depends on the steps, depends on the step the author took before sharing the code or publishing the code in GitHub. Because attackers can actually inject malware in one's code through reverse engineering. So I'd not say it's completely secure. You just need to maybe scan it or go through it. Any other question? So I think I'll share the demo. I'll record it tomorrow. So maybe by tomorrow or Monday, everything I'll share the demo on how we attack the pipelines, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about. Maybe then you can get to understand more on my presentation. So I'll share it either tomorrow in the evening or on Monday. I'll share it with Tabitha, then Tabitha will share it with the rest of the group. Yeah, I'll record everything. Actually, this is just my other laptop. I usually don't use this for pen testing and the rest. So I'm waiting for questions, or maybe a place I need to clarify. Maybe something that a comment, maybe a correction. I'm not exactly perfect too. I'm not a DevOps engineer. I'm an ethical hacker. So when I view things, I really think we view things differently. I view things as an ethical hacker. So maybe there's a place I might have been wrong. So any corrections, any questions?
Okay, I have a question. So, what is the one thing you'd say that you look at a system and say that this is going to be hackable and this might be hard or impossible to hack? Yeah, and system in terms of either the hosted platform itself, either it's the CI/CD pipeline. Yeah, could be anything. Yeah.
Okay, as hackers, we usually say nothing is unhackable because there's no information system which is or there's no system which is 100% proof. But as an attacker, you cannot look at just a system and say this hackable, this unhackable. What I'd say as an attacker is that we usually take time. We usually take a lot of time, and the major part of hacking involves collecting information. Now, this is why I mentioned in the slides restricting pipeline permissions is very, very important. The fewer people have permissions to that, the lower the chances of it being breached. So I'd say that it usually involves a lot of steps. You cannot just look at a system and say, I can pen test this or maybe not. It involves scanning a lot of scanning for open ports in the system, gathering the necessary information, and sorry about that. And the strategy matters too. I can say that there are a lot of ways to get to Nakuru. So you can use the Nyeri highway, maybe the Thika highway, get through Nyeri. You can decide to go via Naivasha. So I usually say the strategy matters too, but no system is unhackable. And a hacker cannot just look into a system and say that this can be breached. It takes a lot of information to get to hack a system. Actually, a lot and a lot of information. Actually, that's the most difficult part of hacking, gathering the appropriate information. It can take up to months. Yeah. So I think there's another part of your question. Can you clarify? Can you repeat the question? I think it had two parts in it. I think I've answered the first part.
I asked if you know you can hack a system, and then also what like guides you, like how do you go about finding the vulnerabilities to explore?
Okay, finding the vulnerabilities to exploit usually involves running a couple of tests. Yeah, there are dedicated tools that we usually use to see to get information on the system, on whether the system can be pen tested or not. Whether or not I can hack into a system depends on a couple of things too. Maybe I'd say the security of the system itself, like the security practices. If it's an organization, do they have they have an active cybersecurity team? If they do have an active cybersecurity team, that can be a challenge. Now, when it comes to hacking, it involves a lot of manipulation. You need to manipulate your victim a lot, and you need to be good at manipulation because it said, as stated earlier on, the weakest link in any information system or in any software is the human. If there's somebody who can give you an easy access, you cannot force yourself into a system. It's so hard to do that. So maybe try to get some credentials. Maybe that's why there are social engineering methods. Suppose it's a login. So maybe for Instagram, maybe it's say Instagram. You want to hack an Instagram account. You cannot do it directly. Of course, the Meta has an active cybersecurity team against that. Now, what you do is you target the client, social engineering. You create a phishing email, then send it to the client. Maybe it takes now the client will get. Actually, one thing I usually do, maybe, but purely for research and ethical practices, I usually create obvious phishing emails, a phishing email that can be identified so easily. So when one gets a phishing email that can be identified easily, there's a button at the bottom of the screen that says report phishing. And that's why I usually put my, and that's under the report button is where I usually put my whether it is a malicious link or, yeah. Mostly it's a link leading you to a, well, I'd not say that over here, but yeah. As for me, that's a strategy that I will use. So it usually depends on the strategy. Yeah. But no system is unhackable. But hacking usually involves a lot of information collection and a lot of social engineering. If you want to get through a system, you need to get through the person developing the system or the user of the system. That's the easiest way to hack a system. Is your answer is the answer satisfactory to you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any other question when it comes to hacking, security?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ronald.
Okay, my question is, how secure are the most DevOps pipelines in real world scenarios? Thinking this perspective, what is that most underestimated vulnerability in modern DevOps pipeline that attackers love, but maybe when it comes to developers, they rarely notice?
Pardon?
What is the most vulnerability in modern DevOps pipelines that you as attackers love, but when it comes to developers, they rarely notice?
They rarely notice.
Yeah.
Okay, to answer this, actually, when targeting DevOps systems, attackers majorly, some of the examples I've had is it involved some of the examples I've had of real world scenarios are attackers corrupting the code file. Maybe you have access to a machine, that it's being used to develop a particular software. Once you have access to that machine, you can just inject your malware or you can set backdoors into the code. So that's something that usually goes unnoticed, by the way. It usually goes unnoticed. It's something you'd rarely notice. So I'd say maybe one of the targets is the attackers machine, the software developers. They are our targets. I'd say they are our targets because they get to develop the software. We can maybe inject our malicious we can inject our code, our malicious backdoors or anything. So it can be very, very, very easy once backdoors are installed. Is that answer satisfactory, or is there anything you feel I've left out?
Now, on a scale of 1 to 5,
Uh-huh.
how can you rate or how secure are the most DevOps pipeline?
Oof, okay. Depends on most of the places I know, they do have an active cybersecurity system, so that makes them super secure. Maybe I'd say on my skill level, I'd say 3, but maybe to another hacker who is above me, it'd say a 2 or a 1. I don't know. But based on my skill level, I'd say a 3.5 actually. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
The major setback is the active cybersecurity team against you, which most of the companies have. Okay, I can say that I'll say that my major setback is facing the active cybersecurity team, the defense team. So, which many companies or many organizations do have right now, because cybersecurity is spreading pretty fast, and the awareness is spreading pretty fast. So, I'd say that the major setback will be facing the active cybersecurity team against you. Okay, integrating AI into cybersecurity, is it possible in hacking? Okay, this is a topic that it is debatable because people are saying that nothing is unhackable. Okay, ethical hackers do say that nothing is unhackable. But again, people are saying, okay, what do you mean with that question? Maybe I'd go off range trying to explain what I have in mind by how I've understood the question. Can you maybe explain it further, John? But if it's purely integrating AI into cybersecurity, it's actually, I'd say an example of integrating AI into cybersecurity is that maybe you can have an AI monitoring your network over and over again, noticing the patterns, and over the network, they are usually the normal patterns. Maybe say the connections are being sent over this network are majorly TCP connections or ARP connections, ARP. So maybe that's the pattern. Now, maybe I'll use the example of HTTPS. Now, maybe via connection, you'd see that most of the packets being sent are via HTTP or HTTPS. Now, once you notice that TCP connection, so ARP, okay, I'll use ARP because there's ARP poisoning. It's an attack method to get access to one session, man in the middle attack. So maybe you can say that you can set the AI to notice the patterns, maybe HTTP, HTTPS, it's okay. But once app connection has been sent, it can be flagged. So yeah, it can be integrated with cybersecurity. And after being flagged, you can notify the active cybersecurity team to identify and mitigate the threat. So yeah, it can be integrated. And I'd say, is it possible in hacking? I don't know what you mean by that, but actually, a lot of time, ChatGPT is vulnerable to social engineering, actually. You say AI to hack. Actually, yes, that is possible. That is possible. So I've just said, so AI is also susceptible. It's also vulnerable to social engineering. I won't give an example because I don't know the ethics of people who are in this particular call, but I do have a pretty good example, but I don't know whether I should provide it to you guys or not, because hacking without ethics is super dangerous. And AI is a very, very powerful tool if you know how to manipulate it correctly. Very, very powerful tool, actually, if you know how to manipulate it correctly. So yeah, it can be used to hack, and I've used it before. And on to the last question. Getting a little bit late. No
I
question?
think you've answered. I think you've answered all the questions in the chat. So unless someone else wants to speak or write another question.
Okay, I'm open to taking criticism. I usually use that to improve myself, actually, so I'd be open to that. I'm open to taking in corrections too, as I'm not actually, I've said I'm not a DevOps engineer, I'm more of an ethical hacker. So when I see things, or I state things, I usually state them based on my perspective. So maybe you can tell me things based on your perspective, what you think of maybe what it's going to misled you guys, or yeah, it will help me improve myself as a person and as a hacker too. Any comments or any corrections? Okay, maybe if someone has a question, you can maybe try to reach out to me. Maybe actually, when it comes to ethical hacking, you can try to reach out to me. So I don't know, should I provide my LinkedIn or my WhatsApp number? Which one will be more convenient for the people who will be having questions? LinkedIn or? But the questions will be strictly on ethical hacking, though.
You hear me?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Now, just a quick one. Have you ever tried to create like a script for, Android?
I do have one. I created one yesterday.
That's great.
Random access Trojan. It gave me full access to full control to the phone. Yeah.
Cool. Then you drop your number, we can maybe, catch up on that.
But if you're to learn that ethics is very, very important, I'd insist on that.
It's true. I did the ethical hacking.
Oh, that's lovely. Did you do the certification? CEH certification?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. You can, I guess you can link up and connect. That's my WhatsApp number, strictly WhatsApp, and I can provide my LinkedIn. That's my LinkedIn and my email. Okay, you can reach out to me via the above means. LinkedIn, Phil Karema, the number 0738745989, and that's the email. So maybe if you have a question, you can ask then. I'll try my best to, okay, I'll reply. I'm not a person who does not reply to people. I'll reply. As for now, I'll have to leave. I'm about 2 minutes late to my next session. So thank you very much, Tabitha, and for the opportunity. Nairobi DevOps community too. Thank you for giving me a platform to share, and it's an honor.
Okay. Welcome. I think we can appreciate him. He's done a good job. So yeah. Let's give Phil a hand of applause, please. You can just react. Emojis there. So I don't know whether is Anita, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I think you can take over. I was supposed to present the slides. Not sure whether you have them.
Yeah, let me just check that. But thank you, Phil, for the amazing session. And thank you everyone for attending. We know it's a Saturday night, but we thank you for always being here. And yeah, for being active during the webinars. So I think everyone would agree that we need Phil for another session to just expound more, especially on the beats that you said you want to record. Maybe I think it would be better. I don't know if what your opinion is, but if we could have another session on it, where you can do a live demo as well. If you're up for it, we could always organize one.
Okay, about that, I'm actually open to that as CI/CD pipeline securities. It's so wide, it's so wide. So I thought finishing it within one session will be so hard. So yeah, I'm open to that. We can organize a technical session. Maybe I can show you how I can actively exploit pipelines, DevOps pipelines, and maybe anything else as a bonus. Maybe something else you want to learn. Most of you do say Wi-Fi.
Yeah, sure. We don't want to be kidnapped out of the blue. Yeah.
Okay. So
Also, on the site, I saw that because of the IP address of my Wi-Fi, it can be able to tell the location. I was a bit scared, but considering I had to consent, so maybe yeah, we would like to know how to, depending on the maybe Wi-Fi IP address. If we need to use a VPN, I don't know. Yeah, so we would appreciate that session.
well, I do believe you use a VPN if you have something to hide.
Uh-huh.
But your internet service provider is not supposed to give out such information. It is usually against the law, but Safaricom is Safaricom. So, of course, they'll sell you out.
Yeah.
So,
As usual.
so yeah, we can explore that. We can explore how to maybe you can just tell me what you want to learn when it comes to ethical hacking. Maybe I can organize a session. We'll start with the pipelines. That's the priority. Maybe after that, maybe you can say what you want to learn to pen test or to hack. Maybe you can organize a session and do that. But the priority is the pipelines. Yeah.
Okay. I think we can share a feedback form and then you guys can fill in topics that you'd want to explore and also feedback for the session. Yeah. And then we'll always share this with you, Phil.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, I really need to leave. I'm 6 minutes late. Thank
I
you
hope
very much.
you'll add permissions to the slides.
Permissions. Yeah, I'll update the permissions.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for the amazing session again. Yeah, and yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was just saying thank you for the opportunity and giving me a platform to share. I'm always happy to share my knowledge, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thank you, Tabitha, for being an amazing host. Yeah, and everyone, thank you for attending. So I think the slides are more of taking us through the community. So as always, if you want to volunteer in our community, feel free to always reach out to us. You can either reach to us via WhatsApp, our socials. We'll always be ready for either if it's your feedback, you want to contribute, you want to be a speaker as well. We are always ready to listen and find ways to make this community even better and beneficial for you all. Yeah, so thank you for attending. See you in the next one. Yeah, we'll also, with the feedback form, we'll also be sharing the link to the slides as well and the hosted version on YouTube.
Oh, one more thing. Maybe if people can maybe text something via LinkedIn and tag me about the session would be amazing too. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Am I free to leave?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Tabitha, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anita. And Phil was just left. So we're so happy to have you. And we are looking forward to having you in our next webinar. So just to mention one more thing, we are having a summit that is coming up. So we'll make the announcements on our platforms, and yeah, be on the lookout. We'll be having a big event at the end of the year. So thank you so much. You're free to leave.